Hi everyone. In this video, I want to talk about the topic of weight loss, body positivity, any kind of beauty related shaming women can face when they are younger or continue thinking about themselves at any age of their life, and also about the things people do. Men and women currently do this, and sometimes men and women put their children also through this to simply conform or fit into some artificial standards that have been created by the world. While it is true that for health purposes, having a healthy BMI is very important for all of us, and being healthy is more important rather than simply looking at the BMI, because BMI is simply a measure of health rather than the actual indicator of how good a health you have. For example, having gone through some cancer stages in life a few years back, and even before that, when I used to be overweight in my 20s, I wanted to conform to the BMI range, and I had taken many different paths to getting from overweight to someone who is in the normal weight range. Even then, when I was in the normal BMI range also, I still managed to have fat in certain parts of my body because of various reasons, and the health reasons related to that I might address in a different video, because this video is more about my own weight loss journey. When I was a teenager, from my teenage years, I remember being very overweight or chunky or chubby in comparison to other kids. In fact, I had a pouch or stomach fat when I was even 10 years of age. So and maybe I was even born with a little bit of fat, I don't know. But the fact is, as long as I can remember, I have always had some belly fat. And even when I had the fittest regimen, I had a trainer who was training me how to eat healthy as well as how to work out healthy, and that trainer I had was in US. Despite doing everything that my body could do at that time, nutritionally and exercise wise, I still had some fat in certain parts of the body. And if that fat measuring machine that they have in the gyms in US measured my fat, initially before I had a trainer, it had over 30% of fat content was there in my body, or maybe like 27-28% fat, I don't remember, but it was around 28 to something above 30, I don't remember the exact number. But whatever number it was, the trainer convinced me that is not the right number for you to have fat in your body, and the appropriate fat level, I don't even remember what is considered appropriate fat level by these machines. But I've used some machine like this once in a gym in US and once in a gym in India. And whatever it is, irrespective of the machine, I could also, if you look at yourself in the mirror, you can see you might have fat accumulation here, you can have fat accumulation under your arms, you can have fat accumulation in your thighs, breast areas. These are the places women get fat. So your breast area and your back, in your stomach, like all these places are where fat can show up in your body. So when I was at my thinnest phase, I was a size 4 is the thinnest I have become. My weight range was also right in the center of the BMI for my height. At that time also, I still had a little bit of fat in my stomach. So, but because I had managed to gain that particular weight range, for many years, I thought that should be my ideal weight goal anytime I go to the gym or I exercise to lose any excess fat that I have in my body. Because I realized after going through the trainer phase for a while, and at that time I had enough finances to afford a trainer, but later on I didn't have the finances to afford a trainer. So whatever was happening, because I didn't have finances, I also gained back some weight. Because I was in a MBA program and focusing a lot on my studies, and I had a full-time job as well as studies going on for a while. So for a few years I was so busy, so busy. Instead of going to the gym for 5-6 days a week, I stopped doing that. And naturally, if I stop doing that, if I don't also have a trainer to push me a little, all those factors again, and I have also some stress from competing in a competitive field of MBA program or whatever, and I had some life financial related stress going on in my life. So all of them combined naturally added to the stress, naturally added back the weight gain. And slowly over time, it's not that today I had the perfect BMI and a month later I don't have a perfect BMI. It wasn't like that, but it took me, if it took me 2-3 years to get that perfect BMI, it also took me 2-3 years to again go back into a overweight range. And again after that, and I have had this seesaw effect of being in a good weight range of the healthy BMI range to the overweight range of weight for at least 25-30 years of my teenage onwards life. So I understand the concern of women who are categorized as fat, women who are categorized as overweight or obese, whose doctors are suggesting to them to lose weight, whose health is suggesting like maybe they have high cholesterol or diabetes, and their health is factors are such that if they do a little bit, add a little bit of exercise regimen, right dietary control, right nutritional changes in their life, they might be able to lose some weight. But there is a healthy way to lose weight and there is a unhealthy way to lose weight. And unfortunately, seeing the models, seeing actresses, seeing beautiful women online or on shows or social media influencers, all these people, when people see others who look more beautiful than them, who seem to have a more perfect life than them, many people aspire towards those beauty standards, forgetting that even if you aspire towards the beauty standard and you actually manage to maintain the same beauty standard as a woman you are admiring, it's not necessary you will still emulate the same kind of life that they have. And even if you have exactly the same life that they have, your level of happiness in that life will also depend on multiple factors. Same way as if you didn't do all these unethical things or wrong for health practices to look beautiful, you would still have had some of those life problems. And which is what I learned actually from my life. Like when I was overweight and I was dating someone and he did comment on my weight in a way that made me feel really bad and insecure about myself. He wasn't like absolutely abusive or really cruel about my weight, but he still said that if you drop a few pounds, I think you will look really beautiful. And I felt really bad about it, because why am I not beautiful to him in his eyes just the way I am? So I was that kind of a personality. I've always been that personality that even if I am overweight, someone should love me for the overweight weight range that I have, rather than for what I could potentially look if I drop a few pounds, right? But there are many women who are willing to do this for their man. If their man says you should lose a few kgs or a few pounds, or you should look size 4 or size 0 when you are a size 6 or size 8, or even when you are size 10 or size 12 and they're expecting you to look like size 0, you can do it for a man. But if you do it for a man, it is not going to bring you the essential happiness or joy or bliss of having lost the weight if you just simply did it for a man. But unfortunately, many women do that in order to gain the attention of a man, in order to keep the attention of the man they married or are dating, in order to continue keeping a relationship going in a particular way that it was when they initially met their partners. All of these areas are where women want, or women from high class society, women who are in the modern world wanting to compete with other women who look beautiful or seem to have a glamorous life. Everyone wants, or many people want to strive towards that. Forgetting that striving towards that is not the problem, but the problem is how you strived to get to the goal you want to achieve for yourself. And also, while you are striving to get to that goal that you want to achieve for yourself, when is the time to say I quit? Because many people don't understand in the modern world where you should quit, where you shouldn't quit, why you should quit, why you shouldn't quit, how something that is promoted as very normal for many people might also be toxic. For example, and this I learned the first I was learning this body image related, weight range related, BMI related, health related lessons all throughout my life since my teenage years, when I first became conscious about the impact of how being fat can make you seem less than worthy in some people's eyes. And in my teenage years it didn't hit me that strongly because I grew up in India, luckily, or in a society where there were many other people who were as chubby as me, so I wasn't like the only overweight or chubby kid in my school group. But out of, let's say, 100 students I knew in my school, there were more than 100 students actually in the same grade. But let's say of the 100 people I know, and there are 10 women who are overweight, all of us, I know all of those women even now who I had observed as overweight because they were my classmates. So I have photos of them, or I have seen them in school being as overweight as me, and I didn't feel bad because they were also overweight like me, right? But all of us, many of us, irrespective of whether we lived in India, whether we lived in US, because some of my friends moved to US just like me, many of those women, even though we were overweight, or even if not overweight, we had some body fat in certain areas where even though we were in the right BMI range, some fat was still present in our body. So because of which people, most of those women who were overweight or slightly chunky, have done weight loss procedures, might have taken even medicines. I don't know their individual weight loss journey, except for one friend who had gone even to a particular facility which teaches you diet and nutrition and all those things, and helps women lose weight before their marriage, or before they want to join a job, or after college if they want to lose a lot of weight. All these things, there's such weight loss facilities available in India. So she had gone to one of those facilities for a year to have a drastic weight loss. So when she was overweight earlier, she lost, like within a period of year, possibly over 10 kgs, and I don't know her exact weight, so I can't tell, but she lost more than 10 kgs actually, because she went from a size, let's say size 12 or 14, and she was a very tall girl. So for a tall girl, size 12 is actually not that overweight, but it can be perceived as being overweight. So for her, when she was maybe like size 12 or 14, she dropped from that to a near size 0 weight within a few years of doing whatever she practiced in that weight loss center. So women do that, and I have also done it. I didn't go to a weight loss center like hers, but there was a phase even in my US life where I took a medicine called Ally, and which was weight loss medicine. It was a legally prescribed medicine as well as available over the counter. So I had taken the over the counter dosage of it to have some weight loss for a while, and it did aid my weight loss. It's not that it didn't aid my weight loss. And as a pharmacist, because I was dispensing medicines to patients, I also had patients who used to take phentermine tablet or Adipex for their weight loss in US, which was again a legally prescribed drug that women are prescribed by their healthcare providers to help them lose extra weight, or to help them maintain a particular body size that they want to maintain. Now, these are the two drugs I was familiar with while working in the US, and it's been a while, over 10 years, since 12 years since I have worked as a pharmacist, and I don't practice currently as a pharmacist. But and there might have been many other weight loss drugs that have come out now recently in the market. And other than weight loss drugs, what else is there that people do that gets promoted as a weight loss aiding thing is green tea. So I have also drunk green tea for a while, both in US and in India, and it also did help in my weight loss journey. But despite green tea helping me in my weight loss journey, despite these medications helping me, I didn't take Adipex or Phentermine, but even though I didn't take the medicine, as a pharmacist, I know it has got some cardiac problems that can crop up in people's health. In fact, people can also die of cardiac arrest or other side effects associated with long-term use, or any kind of sudden side effect. If it manifests in their body, people could die of that if they have been taking a weight loss drug for a while. Secondly, with Ally, even though Ally initially was thought to be safe, and it was prescribed for a few years as a prescription medicine in US, after that, when it went into over the counter, after a year or two of being in over the counter medicine, where patients didn't need to have prescription, they could just simply go and buy the drug to use it as a weight loss supplement according to the dosage given in the medicine bottle. And they were always recommended to also consult with a doctor. But what happened, I think some side effects started cropping up in patients. I didn't follow the whole Ally journey, and I've forgotten the Ally journey from the theoretical aspects of what was found, because of which it got withdrawn from the market. But it did get withdrawn from the market. But personally, for me, what I started finding, the Ally drugs mechanism of action was, say I consume foods which have fat in it, like say I have, my daily diet includes maybe once a week I eat, and I used to, I'm not a very outside eating person. I used to eat sometimes outside food and sometimes home cooked meals in US. So because sometimes I used to eat outside food, maybe once or twice a week I would eat a chicken burger or a fish burger, and I would have fish fingers, chicken fingers. These were my diets at the time I was eating non-vegetarian food. So I used to eat all these kind of non-vegetarian food. At home, I would have omelette as breakfast occasionally. At home, I would cook my Indian meals also using 1 tablespoon of oil. So, or I would have a ice cream twice a week or something. So all of these products have some fat content in them. So any of these which I am cooking at home, any of the food that I'm cooking, eating from outside, every kind of food that we consume, some oil might be present in the food we are consuming. So Ally's mechanism of action actually is that, and it is most beneficial, I believed at that time, for anyone who was consuming a lot of fatty food. For them, Ally is a good way to control, do portion control also, as well as eliminate the excess fat that they are consuming from their diet. Because what Ally was doing was, it was causing the oil and fat to be eliminated from the stomach. So it was preventing absorption of oily food. But what was the problem that I gained from it is, I started having bone health issues. These fingers started looking a little abnormal to me. They were aching and hurting after I had started taking Ally, because as I said, I was not eating a mass scale amount of burgers, right? If I was eating like burger 3 times a day or daily, and really fatty and greasy burgers, I wouldn't even eat fatty and greasy burgers. I was eating moderate level fat content burgers. So I was not eating really greasy food. I was not cooking also my meals with real large copious amounts of oil. So because I was not actually consuming too much oily food, while the drug was, whenever I observed a difference, let's say once a month I went to celebrate someone's birthday. In that birthday we ate oily food, greasy food, cheesy food. We had desserts, all of which have oil content in them and fat content in them. And as a result, that once a month that I have gone and celebrated someone's birthday and I've eaten a large greasy meal from a restaurant in US, when I come back home and that day if I take ally, I could easily see the difference in the poop. The poop would show up the oil. And the day I didn't eat so much, fatty food, I could see that there was no my poop didn't have that oil content or fat content because I was not consuming that much fat. And there are days there was no oil or fat content in my stools, like the visible one. This is not like I'm not testing my stools in a lab or pathological lab, but visibly also ally could show that difference. And because that medicine was showing that difference, first of all, when I realized that if I'm not eating too much greasy food, I should not consume this drug daily. I don't need to consume it daily. That is one realization I had. So because I had that realization, I stopped taking it daily or twice daily. First I used to take it twice daily, so I had stopped taking it twice daily. I would then take it once daily, but even when once daily was not needed, when I'm not consuming too much greasy food, I had also started just taking it every other day. But even then I started getting bone aches and pains. Why? Because one essential vitamin, which is fat soluble vitamin, vitamin D, was not getting absorbed by my body, because any kind of fat that I was consuming, be it even in 1 tablespoon of oil, when I'm consuming that 1 tablespoon of oil used for cooking a meal that I will eat maybe twice, 2 times. In that meal, that 1 tablespoon of oil that I have consumed in 1 day of my life or every other day of my life, that much oil was required by my body to absorb the oil soluble vitamins and oil soluble essential nutrients that my body might need. But unfortunately, that nutritional deficiency started developing because I was taking ally regularly. Because even if I had reduced the dosage, there is an optimal level of the drug that is now existing in my bloodstream. And because an optimal level of drug is existing in my bloodstream, it is doing its job of preventing absorption of fat. And because it's preventing absorption of fat, sometimes along with the fat, it is preventing the absorption of fat soluble essential vitamins and nutrients, because of which I started getting this bone ache and pain. As soon as I started getting this bone ache and pain and I correlated it with my ally use, then I almost stopped taking ally. I think then I decided I will only take ally on a day when I'm going and like really eating very greasy meal at a restaurant. Like once a month I started taking ally, and eventually I completely stopped taking ally because this bone ache and pain was too much, and I realized I don't want nutritional deficiency. I do not want weight loss at the cost of my poor health. And this was an experience I had almost 15 to 20 years back when ally was in the market. So I don't remember what year it was, but let's assume it was about 15 years back. And I also had done blood tests which had shown later on, after I had stopped taking ally, because of whatever other reasons, that I was doing a regular health checkup. In one of those health checkups, it had turned out that my vitamin D levels had gone really down. And this was like couple of years after I had stopped consuming ally. Because you have to also realize, once you stop taking a drug, doesn't mean that the drug leaves your body immediately. Some remnants of the drug can still be there in your bloodstream even after you have stopped consuming that medicine. So and whatever vitamin D deficiency had developed, I had other reasons also for developing vitamin D deficiency, because I was constantly in a lighted room like this in a pharmacy. And on the days when I didn't work in a pharmacy, I very rarely used to go out in the daytime. I would go out in the evening or go out when the sun was little less intense. So my vitamin D absorption also from natural sunlight was also not happening. My vitamin D consumption was also not happening. And if vitamin D consumption was happening, its absorption was not was getting blocked when I was taking the drug, or when some amounts of the drug was still present in my bloodstream. So these are the places where the vitamin D deficiency was starting to crop up. So then obviously when my vitamin D levels were abnormally low, I had to get prescription medicine to then increase my vitamin D levels. Now this is the cost of one simple drug I took for, I might have taken this drug for maximum, like the maximum duration I took it was possibly 1 year, but it was only 1 or 2 months that I took the drug exactly as prescribed. After that I didn't take it as prescribed. After that I had slowly tapered off taking the drug. So like that, even phentermine has all these heart related, cardiac symptoms related side effects, that people who take phentermine like drugs, and phentermine was a drug that is available in US, but its different biochemical versions, biochemically slightly different than phentermine, but some other drug versions could be still there in the market globally in different countries as different names, and they all could have similarly like this some side effects that can cause to some health issue. And most of the time in our country like India, the side effects of drugs are not examined by patients, are not even given to patients. So patients are completely unaware. They might what patients assume in a country like US, the reason why side effects are so important is because the regulations and laws say that you have to mention the side effects to the patients. You have to give the patient handouts which talks about the side effects. Even in drug advertising in US, the side effects of the drugs are listed. So at least people are aware that there is a potential of harm that is possible when you consume a particular drug. And even though people are aware like that also about the specific drug they are taking, there are so many patients and even who can forget that even after taking a drug for many years, that someday if 5 years back you didn't have a side effect from your drug, 5 years later you can manifest a particular side effect that you didn't have previously. This is something also people can forget, but at least you have some information there, and you may or may not remember the information related to side effects. But in India we don't even have that thing. People don't usually know that they can have side effects from medicine. People don't even know that the same medicine that may not have caused any harm to them when they were initially beginning to take the medicine, over time it can slowly develop health harm in someone's body. And that's why when people take some medicines or even things like green tea or any other herbal supplements that are available globally in the world, nutritional supplements that are available globally in the world, anything that they take to supplement their weight loss journey, if there is some health harm associated with what they are taking continuously when they were not previously taking that continuously, that health harm people should start becoming aware about and realizing that you should analyze the risk versus benefit of weight loss versus the overall health harm that you are propagating in your life as a result of taking something whose real long-term effect you will not even understand, or data might not even have emerged currently when some new drug or new nutritional supplement or new kind of herbal tea is being consumed by you. So while a new study might have been done to show this herbal tea is very beneficial for weight loss, and I continue taking that herbal tea, at that point of time, maybe after 1 year of research, no side effect might have come up. Like same way with Ally, the drug I am mentioning that I had taken for weight loss. When Ally initially came in the market, whatever drug studies had already been done before it was introduced in the market, some few years of studies had been done. Despite those few years of studies, after a drug gets introduced in the market at a larger scale to a larger patient population, that's when the mass scale impact of a drug side effect can start showing in the patient population, and more deeply than when they were just being on the clinical trial stages. Also, there's another another bias that can happen. Like that's why only many times double blind studies are done, or much more blinding of studies are done when drugs are being tested, because sometimes unethical practices also come into picture, where a doctor might be in denial that this is the drug that is causing this side effect. So because of that, the doctor or the person who was doing the research experiment to do the clinical trial, whoever was monitoring the clinical trial, if they can have biases that can cause them to ignore some side effects. Even if they don't have biases, they might think this is okay, not that many people will be impacted by this particular side effect, so they might ignore, their data might have shown that only 1% is getting impacted by a particular side effect, when in the small sample size that the drug was tested, it was impacting maybe 1% of the population. But when the drug was mass scale distributed, at that time more than 1% could get impacted, and that is how many drugs get recalled from the market. But despite many drugs getting recalled from the market, there is still many drugs that continue being in the market for years and years without patients being aware of the side effects of the drug. And even if harmful side effect or death occurred after consumption of a particular drug, people use, sometimes the data related to those drugs also don't get released always in the market because of various reasons. Because say someone died of heart attack, if their doctor was not aware that they were taking, and that, say I am a woman in my 50s and I died of heart attack, and the doctor and I had gone visiting a foreign country, I was not even in my own country when I died, I had visited a foreign country, and in that country I died of a heart attack. Now the coroner did some investigation and they found symptoms of heart attack. That's why the doctor signed off saying this was natural death, heart attack related. But if the doctor didn't do a analysis of why this person died, whether the heart attack had more deeper implications, whether they were taking medicines that could have aided their heart attack, whether they were deliberately poisoned along with the medicines they were taking, like 2 drugs were given to them, that's why their heart attack potential escalated and that's why they had the heart attack. If none of these analysis is done by a doctor or the coroner or the person investigating someone's death, then the data related to that person's death gets destroyed. Like only thing that will be written about their death is they died of heart attack. None of the root causes or the deeper reasons why they died will not show up. So that is how, if the root causes didn't show up, even if X drug was responsible for their death, or maybe XYZ drugs in combination was responsible for their heart attack, that data will not emerge if the right analysis wasn't done, right blood samples weren't taken, right input was not received. Even if they were in their own country, and it is a country like India where patient data and patient healthcare data is not very readily available for all patients in a database. In US, patient healthcare data is available in some database. So most of the time, at least in the recent years, you can find patient related data unless the patients are taking illegal drugs. All their legal drug consumptions are included in some database, or either the doctor's office or the pharmacy or both, right? But in countries like India, that database only hasn't been created in many places. So 90% of the population is taking drugs that no one knows about. Their family also might not know about. Their doctors might not know about. If a patient is going and seeing 2-3 different doctors, Dr. A may know that they are taking this drug for weight loss, but because social shame is also so high in our country, sometimes patients also hide the fact that they are taking a drug. Like there are so many actresses, yes, there are actresses or models who use the natural methods or balanced methods or healthy methods to lose weight, and then there are others who will do liposuction, take extra medication, do a lot of unhealthy practices to maintain their weight loss or particular size 0 figure. and if they are ashamed about admitting to that, that data of what medicines they were taking, what drugs they were taking, what legal or illegal, because there are some illegal drugs also which can help patient in weight loss, if what legal or illegal drugs you are taking, all of these data, if it gets missed, people won't know that a legal or illegal drug led to their health harm, maybe from heart attack, maybe from some other liver or organ damage, whatever the drug was causing. Because you have to understand, if you're continuously taking a medication for long periods of time, many kinds of side effect can manifest in your body depending on what that chemical was doing to you. Like with green tea also, I had some side effects. When I was taking green tea in US, I was only having those packaged green teas, and with the packaged green teas, like the bottled ones, and those bottled green tea drinks, I didn't drink for a long time. I only drank for maybe 6 months to a year, and I was just drinking it as a occasional, like once a week, one bottle of green tea. So I was not doing it that regularly also. It was a sweet green tea that they used to have, so I used to like drinking a cool iced green tea. So, but that was more like a occasional beverage consumption for me, not a weight loss related beverage consumption. So at that time I didn't have any side effects, or I didn't notice and observe any side effects when consuming that green tea. But in India, I was consuming green tea regularly as a weight loss measure, and also as a measure to cleanse my stomach early in the morning. So I would have green tea with lemon regularly in the morning time. And at that time I started having health issues from green tea, and I didn't initially correlate. Again, all these correlations that happen, it started only happening when I'm mindfully observing what is happening with my health, what could be possibly impacting my health. When my health went into certain distress signaling symptoms, because my heart rate was being erratic a little bit, and I couldn't figure out why my heart rate should be erratic when for years and years, like, it was abnormally different than the normal. And that is when I realized eventually, and because I was also doing at the time some meditation related energy clearing, I started having a little heightened sense of smell. And this heightened sense of smell made me realize that the green tea that I was consuming had pesticide contamination in them. And because of pesticide contamination in the green tea, and I know the theory of what pesticides can do to your health, so I knew that the pesticide was responsible for causing the heart issue, because of which then I eventually stopped consuming that green tea. Later on, I tried a different brand a year later. Again, a year or two later, when I tried a different brand, in the different brands green tea also, I found pesticides. I even sometimes tried normal tea, because one time it happened that some friend came to my house as a guest and I didn't have normal tea. So for her, I had to buy some normal tea just for her sake. So at that time also, in some of the normal tea brands also, when I bought, I found in those tea brands that pesticides are present in them. And every time I was consuming those pesticide containing tea at home or from a market, and not just tea, coffee also, sometimes I have seen that with coffee, any kind of thing that is mass marketed, mass produced, and has been mass produced using pesticides, fungicides and other such chemicals. A trace amount of those chemicals now have started showing up inside of the plant extracts, leaves, because teas are usually tea leaves. So from the leaves of the plants that you're getting, you are people are not aware about it, but I have started becoming aware that many such tea containing products, herbal tea, green tea, coffee beans, milk products, anything that even milk, like oats milk, almond milk, even herbal based creams and lotions that I am buying, many of them have started showing pesticide content. Many of them have started showing pesticide plus whatever chemicals were used in raising the plant. That chemical content has now started showing up in our natural food and drink and health based natural things that we use in that supply. Like recently I bought a comb that was from a neem plant. Now if the neem plant was grown normally without any chemicals in it, then that is a very healthy thing to use to comb my hair, because neem has antifungal property. It would have caused very good antifungal effect while I'm using it to comb my hair. And neem also is being antifungal, the comb will also not get destroyed that easily. But because the plant was raised in some environment with high amounts of chemicals, and the high chemical content in that comb was so toxic, if I use that comb to comb my hair, I will get pesticide poisoning or whatever chemical it had. It could be pesticide plus fungicide. Whatever chemical this comb has, I will get poisoning from that chemical. And even if the tree didn't have that, the neem tree may have been organically raised, but in order to make the comb look very shiny, sometimes what these companies do, they will dip the comb in certain plant oils. But if that plant oil in which you have dipped it, and that plant was again raised in some conditions where pesticides, fungicides and other chemicals have been used for that plant oil extraction, or plant oils, whatever is the base plant oil, let's say it is olive oil or mustard oil or coconut oil or whatever cheap oil they want to use. Like these are the expensive oils I mentioned, or most commonly oils used in India or US, some of the commonly used oils. But instead of these oils, and it was none of these oils actually, but it was some strange oil, but whatever plant source they have used for this oil, that plant, if that was also raised in toxic chemical conditions, the oil of the plant now has some of these chemicals in it. So that oil that was extracted from the plant now has these toxins in it, and that oil in which this comb is getting dipped so that the comb looks shiny, now the comb has soaked all the crappy pesticides and other chemicals from that oil. So this is the problem with, at the cost of getting good health or good product, natural products also for your health, if you don't have the right source of the nutritional food that you want to eat, if you don't have the right source, like green tea, if the green tea doesn't come from the right source, how much ever past data might have shown that green tea is good for our weight loss or any other green tea related health benefits people are using green tea for, that health benefit will not manifest or might manifest at very lower level, and health harm can manifest if along with that green tea now you have some pesticides also in your diet. Because the more daily I take the green tea, the more I am consuming the pesticide from that green tea. And unless the manufacturers and food supply chain processing of this tea leaves and tea brand does the right steps to ensure that in every step of this green tea's process, I do not have any pesticide contamination, somewhere down the supply chain I will get the pesticide exposure, and then my health will get harmed. And then in the cost of, if I'm continuing to someone suggests, because many trainers in India and all in weight loss classes in India do suggest and recommend green tea for people. So you have been recommended green tea, but your health is deteriorating, because even though they have recommended green tea, if you don't have the right green tea without chemicals, if it is not just pure green tea, or if you are getting the best quality green tea from somewhere with no chemicals in it, but your home has pesticides in the water, and you're boiling this green tea in the water in your home, or you're buying it from a fancy restaurant and that restaurant's water supply is contaminated, whatever the reason, if you are consuming that green tea regularly thinking it is a health drink you are consuming, but there is any element of health harm present in the drink you are consuming, that health harm will also escalate in your body, right? So benefit plus harm, both might escalate. So while you might see weight loss happening, along with weight loss you could have also these because pesticides again can cause heart symptoms, it can cause heart failure, it can cause respiratory failure, it can cause gastrointestinal stomach upset, it can cause intense sweating, it can cause dizziness, it can cause organ damage, it can also lead to cancer. And our next step, even though I stopped because of the pesticide content and increase in heart problem related side effects that I started seeing from green tea consumption, I stopped taking green tea. And in the last 5-6 years I might have hardly consumed green tea, like once or twice a year, that's it. So green tea or any other tea very rarely I have consumed. So in that meantime though, I still developed cancer. Why? Because even though I eliminated one source of cancer causing agent from my diet, that cancer causing agent was present in other environmental exposures in my life, and because of which, and because of any other carcinogens additionally other than pesticides that were present in my daily life routine, I slowly have developed some symptoms of cancer. And at that time when I was developing cancer, at that time I didn't know I was developing cancer. I had severe weight loss. I went into almost the same weight that I had when I was at my best BMI range in US, when I was dieting and doing everything. And this time I was not dieting, this time I was not even intending to have, I set an intention that I want weight loss, but I had set an intention that I want healthy weight loss, and weight loss which is supported by my health. So when I am when I was capable of doing intense exercise in the gym, I did that. When I was not capable of doing intense exercise in the gym, and that was tiring me out, for or other problems were there because of which I stopped going to the gym, I was walking and managing my weight loss, doing walking or Zumba at home. At that time also slowly my health was deteriorating because I was going into this cancerous condition. And at that time, though I wasn't even intending weight loss, all I was wanting was normal weight. Like if I'm exercising for half an hour using Zumba, or I'm walking for half an hour or 1 hour outside the home, that phase of life when I did that for a year or two, in those 1-2 years I had a steady weight where I was like say 67 kgs, 65 kgs for a while, but 67 kgs I think. So I had a good steady weight for a while, but then when I went into weight loss phase, I lost a couple more kgs after that 67 kg weight loss, and those couple more kgs brought me into a nice BMI range. But though outside, for the outside thing, it looks like, and I'm looking also very slim, people are complimenting me also, you're looking very beautiful. But that beauty, I realized, was a cost I didn't want to pay, because that weight loss, that people saying that I'm looking thinner or good, look beautiful, that weight loss time period, even though I looked beautiful to other people, to me it was the most painful time of my life, when even though the BMI range is perfect, it is exactly what I had dreamed about many years back, and I'm getting it automatically, but what was the price? The price was severe appetite loss, inability to consume many foods, any kind of food that had even small amount of, microscopic amount of pesticides, fungicides or any other kind of chemicals. My body kept rejecting it. I couldn't consume those foods. Sometimes my throat was choking up if the food has some contamination that would be harmful to me. So I couldn't even swallow those food. I had to just spit it out, because my body was in that severe distress level. Even now my body is in that distress level. It is a little bit better than before, because slowly with some preventative care strategies, I have started eliminating the impact of certain toxic exposures that I can eliminate in my life. If there is a scented product that was giving me headache or allergies, I stopped using those scented products. If it was a toiletry product that was causing some health harm, I stopped using it. I used to wear earrings quite regularly, but I started getting allergies from earrings, so I stopped wearing earrings. I actually had stopped wearing makeup. This is the only one I'm able to wear currently, but I had 4 years of phase where any kind of wearing lipstick for a while was giving me skin allergies. Then like that, many products were been rejected by my body as a health harming thing. And whatever my body was rejecting as a health harming thing, I have tried to consciously eliminate consuming those kind of products. But does that mean everything health harming has been eliminated from my life? No, because if my family uses chemicals that are harmful for me and doesn't realize that it's harmful for me, and I am living in the same house as them, then I get exposed to it. For a while I had gone traveling during this cancer phase only, because I wanted to see, is there a pollution, less polluted environment anywhere in the places I know or in the places I can travel to. So I went to a few places and traveled to a few places, and what I found was more and more pollution there, or different kinds and levels of pollution in different cities based on whatever norms the people in those cities are used to, or those hotels are used to, or those homes are used to. So because I went and stayed in homestays, I went and stayed in hotels, I went and stayed with family. So whichever family I'm staying with, even if I'm observing that there are 10 chemicals that are poisonous to them, and they have had health issues because of those chemicals or microbial products, like in one family's home there was fungal contamination, and now if I tell them you have fungal contamination, they don't believe me. I can't do anything about it. 1-2 years later, someone in their family got fungal infection. But what is the stitch in time that would have saved them this trouble of fungal infection? If on the first day they found the fungus in the house, or if they acknowledge that there is a fungal problem in the home, because I could smell the fungus in the home environment, as well some visible symptoms of fungus were there in their homes. So if they eliminate the fungus, if they take the steps to ensure that the whatever fungus has grown in the home doesn't escalate further, or they take the right appropriate measures, then the degree of fungal infection they will get is going to be much less than the amount of fungal infection or later downstream impact of fungal toxins been accumulated in the body would happen. Same way with some places, because a lot of fungicides are used in that particular state. The reason why fungal infections are also happening is because of that, because how drug resistance develops for bacteria, like too much of antibiotics had led to the propagation of virulent bacterial infections. Same way, too much of fungicides can also do that. Virulent fungal infections can develop. Too much of any chemical can cause virulent or resistant form of those things to develop, which is what is happening globally now. People have been using pesticides for 80-90 years, and despite people using 80 years or something, so in these 80 years or 50 years, whatever years a pesticide was introduced in the market of a particular area, that many number of decades that area has now pesticide accumulation, pesticide poisoning going on in the health of many people, many animals, many humans, many planetary plants in that area. Only thing is, when pesticides were initially introduced, which was like, let's say pesticide was introduced 50 years back in a particular place I am going to, and if in 50 years, in the first year it was introduced, you did some studies and you didn't find any harmful pesticides, or in the 10th year all you found was pesticides could be there in the plant, you just need to wash your vegetables really well. That was this case 40 years back, 30 years back, because 30 years back in school life we had been taught that you should wash your vegetables, you should wash the vegetables free of pesticides by soaking in water or vinegar, which is what I learned another 10 years back or 20 years back. But washing the vegetables, washing the fruits in regular water, or a vegetable wash, or a pesticide or a vinegar wash or whatever, also doesn't prevent the pesticide from completely being eliminated from certain products anymore, because that much amount of pesticides have now accumulated on earth, because of which many fruits and vegetables and leaves and plant extracts and plant extract products and plant extract products used for eating, weight loss or medicine, or even toiletry related, cosmetic related purposes, everything is going south if people don't check it in the right way, right manner, understand why this is important. And this is the same thing, that the cosmetic change that people want, the quick fixes that people want for weight loss only led to people taking medicines for weight loss. Same thing is the reason why people use these chemicals also for getting a quick produce or quick large amounts of produce and things like that, but all the while ignoring the internal health consequences of the plant that they had sprayed with pesticides. Similarly, when people take medicines or do non-natural strategies or misaligned strategies to do weight loss, that's why end up falling sick. I am tagging a video, a tale of a girl whose mother was forcing her to lose weight and stay a particular slim figure size, but afterwards she felt so sick and all. Then when she had gone anorexic also, and then later on, after she was taken away from her mother and she ate good nutritious food, she gained back 10 kgs weight or whatever, 10 kg or pound, I don't remember, but she gained back some weight, and I'm presuming that from anorexia she now again has normal BMI range. And when I was still in my BMI range, when I was, let's say, 63 kgs, which is my normal BMI weight, even though I was looking a lot thinner, I had lost a lot of fat, I was looking slimmer, and everyone was complimenting me, and it was the normal BMI range, I had full-blown cancer or pre-cancer stages going on, where I was so debilitatingly disabled that normal functions were not possible for me. Even like that one, in the 4 years, one time I went and ate some dinner with my friends, or one time I went to a friend's party event for a family event, like that 1 hour, 2 hour of time I spent with my friends, I was in such bad health that even spending that 1-2 hours with people outside the home was difficult. Walking outside for 15 minutes was difficult. Even now it is some days very difficult. It just depends if I am in a better state of health, and if that day the number of toxin exposures from food, water, drinks are less, I might be able to walk for 1 hour and shop in a shopping mall for 1 hour. If that same week or next week I consumed water or food products or had clothes which had some chemicals in them that were harmful for my health, then immediately, because I am in this precarious state, the health deterioration happens and I can't even walk for 15 minutes outside. I feel so exhausted, I feel so tired, I either feel like I'm going to pass out on the streets, or if I don't feel like passing out on the streets, I feel like I can't stay outside for this long, it's too hot, or I'm getting breathless, or my body can't even walk 15 minutes outside. When I was the kind of a person who used to go on 2 hour walks, who has even taken a few complex treks of 8-10 hours in US, or moderate intensity hikes in US. I have done gym workouts of moderate level to high level intensity, slightly high, I don't do extremely high level intensity workouts, but slightly high level to moderate level intensity workouts also I have done in the gym for 2 hours daily. I was that level physically fit, and I was working as a pharmacist where I had to stand on my feet for 12 hours in a pharmacy regularly. So when I was that much physically capable to stand in my feet and speak, and as a pharmacist I had to speak for 12 hours continuously in a day. In those 12-hour day, half an hour only was the gap when I was not speaking. So for 11.5 hours daily when I had the capacity to speak, I also came right now also I'm getting exhausted. It's been only 56 minutes, but there are days where within 5 minutes I can get exhausted while speaking, within 1 hour I can get exhausted, depending on how much oxygen, how much energy, how much other health supportive things are going on with my health. And this is how cancer is. That's why when cancer patients can look very beautiful like me, but you can, and look seemingly healthy and in the normal BMI range, but if you have cancer, you are disabled because you are breathless, you can't walk, you will have painful experiences while walking, you can get tired, you can get dizzy, you can even faint on the road, you can feel exhausted to a level where you've never felt that level exhaustion. You don't want to get out of the bed. If you get out of the bed even for 10 minutes to do a minor level activity that was normal for you to do, that minor level activity can't be done. So that's why many cancer patients have these disability cards in US when they are going to the store to buy something, because of this reason. Like outside physically they might look very healthy, but they're not healthy. Even now, even though I look healthy, I know for sure I still have the cancer, because my symptoms are showing me I have the cancer. But I had 2 cancers, of which one of the cancer symptoms have passed away or got minimized, but the other cancer symptoms, even though I have eliminated many carcinogenic influences from my life that I can eliminate, the things outside of my control, like if my family uses carcinogenic things, or if I'm traveling somewhere, even in the car, if I'm traveling in a car and the car has sprayed pesticide or other chemicals in the car which are harmful to my health, I get breathless and I can't breathe, and my skin can have heightened allergies or inflammation, or my heart rate can go either too high or too low, depending on what chemical was there and what was the status of my cardiac health that day, what was the status of my respiratory health that day, what was the status of my circulatory system's health that day, because the cancer that I have has impacted these organ system functions. And even some organ level damages, if there has been going on because of pesticide exposure or other chemical exposure, those organ damages are also concurrently impacting my health. And so when people think that they should do any strategy to maintain their health, or any unethical strategies to maintain their health, this is where I would like people to take a pause from this experience that I have narrated here, to understand that just because you look beautiful doesn't mean that you are in the healthy state. Beauty is actually, initially when people were appreciating beauty in some other person, that appreciation of beauty is about their physical, mental, emotional health. But if a person is not physically ill and still you are complimenting, there is something wrong with society if you don't see the symptoms of illness in someone just because they fit a certain body standard or certain skin tone standard. The skin tone glow up also that I'm getting, I'm just simply getting it because I'm not using harmful chemicals that will cause tanning, or I'm not going outside in the hot sun because the sun is causing inflammation for me and other symptoms for me. So if I go outside in the hot sun, I will also have the same tanned skin as any other Indian. But because I don't I hardly go out for 15-20 minutes in the sun, or even less than that, I don't have a tanned skin. But if I did have a tanned skin and I'm using a lot of chemicals, harsh chemicals on my body which are harmful to my skin, those chemicals also, because I've eliminated using those chemicals, my skin is glowing. But the moment I will use those chemicals again, if I'm using it on my hands, my hand will start to darken if the chemicals are harmful to my skin health. If the chemicals are harmful to my face, again my face will also start showing it. The days I have consumed some food which is toxic to me and they have backed up in my liver or kidneys, the backup processes that are happening impacts my cardiovascular and circulatory system functions also, because our bodies, different processes of our different organ systems are interconnected. So one system getting backed up backs up another system and then another system, eventually resulting in dark circles here, puffiness here, black deposits here, or deposits of toxins that I consumed via the food, water, drink or water supply of my area. So if I want to actually, realistically speaking, be really healthy, I have to eliminate all toxins from my environment. Also, yes, I have to get the cancer treatment. But if I get the cancer treatment and my home life in India, some of these cancer treatments that they give you is the cancer treatment protocols for certain kinds of cancer is like, maybe you will go to the hospital for 1 week, then you have to recover in home for 1 week, because they want to reduce the cost of healthcare costs. So they don't want to use a hospital bed to give you a treatment when in the 2 weeks you don't have any medicines to take. So 1 week you go and get the treatment in the hospital, then you come back home, and for the rest of the month you are in your home, or 2 weeks, whatever is your duration of therapy, that dosing interval that has been determined by your doctor. But whatever is your dosing interval determined by the doctor, you get the therapy and you come back home. And during the therapy, maybe the therapy is killing the cancer cells in your body, but simultaneously, if I have other carcinogens constantly being exposed I'm exposed to carcinogens via the food, water, drink, clothing, and other environmental factors, getting the treatment is only half beneficial. It is not going to be completely beneficial, right? So if I don't find a place where better health can be maintained, where carcinogens are less, where carcinogenic exposures are less, where after therapy my recovery would be easier to do, I also don't simply need a place, but I also need some family who are a little bit more mentally capable of understanding that what you need when you have cancer therapy is a different kind of home environment that my family is not able to give. Because many of my family have some mental problems where they do not understand, despite my education, that my education can have some value. They also don't understand that there are certain things that may not be carcinogenic according to them, because they are not able to detect the carcinogen in those products that they are using, but actually they are carcinogenic for me, and they do escalate my cancer symptoms. So even if they don't feel the impact of some chemical impacting their health, it does indeed impact my health. So if they aren't considerate about stopping the usage or minimizing the usage of a particular product that is enhancing my health symptoms or increasing my health symptoms, I can't recover even in their homes. So where do I go and get therapy? Many people few years back told me, we told you to come to the doctor and get the right therapy and everything, but those are the same people who were not who were ignoring completely that what you are consuming is harming my health. Even now they continue to consume things that are not simply harming my health, they're harming the health of their own family as well. So I can't go and live in places where the health harm is much higher than what my body can take. I can't recover in those homes. So even if I go to a hospital in that area, where the hospital will give me great grand treatment, but the rest of the time, and cancer therapy can take 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, depending on what stage cancer you have. And if you don't have the right safe home environment, and when I have the awareness, if I didn't have the awareness, I can be like a blind sheep and go and get cancer treatment in Kolkata or get cancer treatment in Mumbai, wherever I can get the cancer treatment. Let's say I found the right doctor, they're giving me a cancer treatment and I'm getting it in that state of India, right? So let's assume I'm going to get the best excellent treatment in a hospital. But again, wherever I will go to after the hospital, if I'm going to out of state, because that is why God sent me on this travel journey, that when I'm going, let's say I go to Bangalore, and if there is or Kerala, and if the doctor is very excellent, the therapy they are providing is very excellent, but because I don't have any family in Bangalore or Kerala, I will have to end up staying in a rental place. Now whichever rental place I stay, be it a home stay, be it a short term 6 months rental, whatever it is, if there are cancer causing things in the home in which I'm staying, or cancer enhancing products available in the current market, like in the form of bottled water or clothes or food that I'm consuming, because of pesticides in the food, pesticides in the nutritional supplements, pesticides in even medicine, not simply pesticides, sometimes medicines are giving me body aches and pains. When I was taking simple medicine for fever, at that time I got severe body ache and pain because of a high level of preservatives in them. So I have multiple health issues from different things. Now me being mindful, I know what is harmful to my health, I know what is escalating my health issue, I am aware what is health harming and what is health enhancing for me. Now communicating that, me being educated also on this field, I have all the logical data and analysis. I can give you the proof also of all these things. But the thing is, when you are sick, are you going to sit and give data and proof to your family that I know this, that's why this needs to be followed? Or when you are severely debilitatingly sick where you can't even move for 5 minutes properly in your own home or outside the home also, walking for 5 minutes is a chore, or maximum level you can walk is 1 or 2 hours. If that is your level of functionality, when earlier for 12 hours you could walk easily, do many physical activities easily, if that is the drastic deterioration of your health status, at that time, do you think I can sit and afford to give data on this is carcinogenic, that is carcinogenic? You can't do that. And if they are only going to trust a doctor but not a person who is also educated about healthcare, that is their mental problem or social problem. If they only want to trust a doctor and not any other healthcare professional who is also educated about diseases like cancer. And I, even if I was not educated in healthcare, right now as a patient who has cancer, if I know that XYZ product is escalating my symptom, you believe it or not, I can't do anything about it. It is escalating my problem. So it is your choice. Do you want someone to stay in your house and get a heart attack as a result of all the chemicals you are using, or do you want, and which is what happened in one of these people's homes in my family. They have killed people in their homes because one person is mentally ill to not understand that pesticides shouldn't be used. Another person is mentally ill that overuse of chemicals shouldn't be done for cleansing purposes. Another person is mentally ill and not 2-3 people are mentally ill to not understand the impact of fungal toxins, mold toxins, despite years and decades of data on all these topics. I know this because I worked in these fields. I had to, not have to, but in the past when I was a pharmacist, I have counseled my patients about it. If not on all these topics, I have stayed updated on these topics in case patients would come who need help with these areas of functional health problems. And then I personally can see where there is more mold, I have more health issues. Where there is more fungus in the food or fungus in the air, I have health issues. Where there is pesticide or other chemicals in their water, I have health issues. So why? Because I am already in a precarious stage. When you are in a precarious stage, a little bit of push in the opposite direction will take you off the brink of the average level, okay level health that you're looking at. So right now, like 1 hour 10 minutes have passed, and 10-15 minutes back I said that I'm getting breathless. I am getting breathless, but even then some reserve energy of oxygen was still present. That's why that breathlessness is not showing up as evidently in this video. But as soon as I end this video, I will be so breathless, I'll be like gasping for air for a while, or I will need an 24-hour or 30-hour of break to recharge my oxygen level in my blood and to feel less breathless, to feel again normal level energized. When in the past I could talk like this for hours and hours, for almost 11 hours in a day, without having any breathing issues at all. So do you understand the difference between someone who could have spoken for 11 hours, who can't speak, who is having problems after 1 hour of speaking? And continuously, because as a pharmacist I had constant patients coming all the time, so I'm either on the phone or speaking directly to the patient. And yeah, maybe every day I didn't speak for 11 hours continuously, but I was at least speaking for 6-7 hours continuously daily, with no gap, no one to stop, because we had 9 o'clock to 1:30, we will have 9 to 1 I would speak continuously. Then we will have half an hour break. Then 1:30 to again till the end of the night. Again there is a stretch of 5-6 hours and when I'm speaking continuously. So someone who can speak continuously like this for 5-6 hours. I've also been an MBA student. So in MBA programs also we had to give a lot of speech in front of different people. So again you have to speak for one hour. So speaking for even 1 hour was a practice for me in many different fields of work that I have done. So that level where you have continuously spoken for at least one hour daily in certain fields of work or field of study, if you are getting breathless even speaking 1 hour, that is a symptom of health decline in you for whatever the reason. For me, it is the cardiovascular, circulatory, respiratory system really getting impacted from the cancer causing and cancer carcinogenic elements that are impacting each of these organs. For someone else, it could be something else. But whatever is impacting your health, these are the ways in which you can determine. Even if your doctor lives in denial that you don't have any illnesses, doesn't mean that the disease will stop progressing in you if the disease causing elements are present in your life. And even if your family is in denial that you may not have these symptoms that you're telling you're having, if they are really health harming, immediately the health harm is showing. So I don't care if my family denies it. If you yourself see some of my past videos, you will see some days I have dark circles behind my eyes, some days my skin is looking really dark and sallow, some days I might even be breathless or coughing when I'm giving these videos. Why? Because all of these are the days when one organ system or the other is getting damaged by some product or the other that I was consuming that day. And what products am I consuming? Right now I'm only consuming clothes, I'm only rarely going outside, so I'm not exposed to outside elements. All the outside elements that I'm getting exposed to is via the food, water, drink that I drink daily, eat daily, the water that I bathe in daily, and occasionally when I occasionally go to the mall, whatever air exposure I'm getting to in the mall or local shops. This is the environmental exposure. And then whatever clothes I buy, if there are dyes in these clothes that are harmful for me, if they have sprayed some chemicals in these clothes to make it look shiny or make it smell nice, if those chemicals are harmful to me, again wearing those kind of clothes, that is the exposure that leads to these darkening on under the eyes, skin damage, other liver and other organ system damage, which immediately is showing up because I am in a precarious state of health. If I was a healthy, fit person who didn't have cancer or who didn't have any organ damage, for me it might take a while for these same chemicals to show the symptom immediately in my life. For that person who's healthier, like say 10 years back version of me, because these chemicals have been present in Indian food, Indian water for a long time. Some places it has been present for a long time, some places it wasn't present. Slowly it is escalating. But wherever it was present for a long time, did I have cancer 10 years back? Did I have cancer 20 years back? No, at that time I didn't have the symptoms because at that time my body was still capable of eliminating the toxin from my body. Any pesticide that I was consuming, any chemical that is harmful to my health that I'm breathing or inhaling or absorbing, they were getting eliminated by my normal body systemic functions that are present in all of our body to eliminate toxins from our body. But the day my body has started getting overloaded, and then the day it stops doing some of the normal functions it was able to do when it got overloaded, then there came a day when not only was my body getting overloaded, now my organ systems have started getting damaged. When those organ systems are now at the damaged stages, first is when you get overloaded. If say you can do 10 activities, that organ can do 10 activities, and instead of now 10 it is getting overloaded by 15 activities. Obviously it is stressed up and it is not able to keep up doing 15 activities. It will prioritize, and when it is prioritizing, so the 15 chemicals that the liver has to eliminate, 10 it will eliminate, 5 it is still backing up in the blood, and then if it gets backed up in the blood, slowly it gets accumulated and gets accumulated here behind the eyes. That is how it works. Like that, any chemical, now that the liver is overloaded, but when it is overloaded for a lot of time, and liver damaging chemicals are maybe getting accumulated in the bloodstream and in the body, eventually it will start causing liver damage. So now that liver that used to be able to eliminate 10 toxins, because it is damaged, it is only eliminating 5. Then will my health get even worse now? Because earlier when the liver was not damaged, it was able to eliminate 10 toxins but was getting overloaded with 5 extra toxins. So if I eliminate those 5 toxin consumption from my daily consumption, then the liver's overload will get little reduced. But if the liver has also started getting damaged now, then what is happening is its functional capacity has reduced. Same way, any organ system damage that I mentioned in this video, all of those, when they are not in the optimal functional condition, that's why a cancer patient gets very debilitated, because their organ systems are not in a optimal functional capacity at the time when they are undergoing these cancer problems. So because of which, even the normal functions that they could do even 10 years back, 5 years back, 1 year back, will not be possible for them to do when they are going through a cancer stage. And it's not true just of cancer patient, it can be true of AIDS patient, it can be true of patients with severe organ damages, it can be true of any person who is in a very severe stage of some other illness as well, or who has multiple different illnesses going on in their body at the same time. So if you have any questions, please drop a comment. And for body image and body positivity, what I want to ask people to reflect on is, do not compromise your health for the sake of just fitting into a standard related to what someone else is gauging as a beauty standard. Because this beauty has no value to me right now. If I have cancer, what will I do with the praises 10 people give me if I have cancer and I can't even walk and do normal activities? That praise has zero value. Even if I get the praise, if I look like this after cancer also, actually generally speaking, that praise has only value, a little egoic value. But other than the minor egoic value, when will for me and a personality like me, a praise would genuinely be great when I am actually healthy, right? Because when I am healthy, when I have taken all the healthy measures to look healthy, stay fit, be fit, that is when you get the true inner joy from having good health. That inner joy that happens from balancing your health, balancing your mindset about your looks, balancing your mindset about the positive image you hold about yourself, which is what looks are about. You should hold a positive image about yourself irrespective of what people are telling you. And if people are telling you that you are looking good when you are ill, you should have the positive image to understand that when you are ill, a person praising you is futile. When you are not ill and you are looking beautiful, that is the best time, when the right alignment has happened. You are not ill, you are healthy, you look great, people are complimenting. That is the only time when a right compliment fits the profile of you have good health, you are looking beautiful, and you're looking beautiful and have good health because you've taken the right measures to stay beautiful and stay healthy, right? Does that make sense? And on the other side, if I have dark circles under my eyes, and what would I appreciate as a patient? If I have dark circles and people observe that you have dark circles and you look sick, wouldn't I appreciate that more? Because I need care, I need health care, I need supportive care, I need all these things that a sick person needs. So if you ignore that this person is sick simply because they are looking thin or their skin is glowing, you're ignoring all other parameters that show that I'm actually ill. You're ignoring the fact that I'm getting breathless. You're ignoring the fact that under the eyes I have dark circles. Some days you're ignoring the fact that my skin looks really bad. Some days you're ignoring the fact that I'm not even able to walk well. So all these things are important as well to so when people sometimes actually tell people, like I have faced these issues about skin tone, where people have commented about these freckles and things like that in the past, which cause body shaming issues. And I'll post my link on this if I can about what I've written related to this issue. So it's not that you feel insecure a little bit, but that little bit of insecurity is also a good motivator, right? If you are feeling a little insecure that my skin is not looking great, you will take the right thought. You can align your thoughts to the right direction to understand, is my skin really looking sallow? Is there a reason why my skin is looking sallow? If I have gained weight, is there a reason I should examine why I gained weight? The right reason, not the reason that most of us chase, that I look 5 kgs heavier than my sister, that's what I should chase. No, you look 5 kgs heavier than your sister is not the problem. If you are looking 5-10 kgs heavier than your past, and that 5-10 kg weight is something abnormal for how you usually look, and that's what your relative is observing, then reflect on that. Because one time that happened to me, that no one commented on this, but I was feeling like I'm looking really fatter than the norm. What did I realize? I realized that the medicine I was taking was causing water retention, was leading to excess weight gain. As soon as I stopped taking the medicine, yes, some of the weight gain might have happened from food, diet and other factors, but the part of the weight gain that had happened due to the hormonal changes and water accumulation related changes from that medicine, as soon as I stopped taking that medicine, immediately 3-4 kgs of weight loss happened. So, and for me that medicine was not a must have. So as soon as the medicine is not a must have, and if eliminating the medicine has resulted in me looking at a healthier BMI range, should I do that or should I not do that? That is the correct way. But on the other hand, in order to have that 5 kg weight loss, if I take medicine which is harming my liver, harming my heart, harming my some other organ, then that is the opposite direction. Then you are taking a health risk at the cost of looking beautiful, which has no value if that health risk one day will cause severe illness or lead to your death. Which is what I want people to reflect on, contemplate on, that when they do any procedure, healthcare procedure, cosmetic procedure, take any medicines, take any even herbal or other supplements for their weight loss, or are getting pushed by their trainer to do a particular training which their body is unable to get pushed into, you should even show there some right resistance if it is not working for you. Because that happened also. I have weak knees, I have weak wrist, and I had a heart problem. So I told my trainer that I have this weak wrist problem, so certain wrist exercises he didn't give me, because he could see that I was having problem when he was pushing me to do certain exercises. With the knee problems also, he made sure that I would only use that machine that won't strain my knees. With my heart, he tried to push me to do high intensity exercises, but immediately on the heart rate monitor also he saw, and from my own physical symptoms that manifested when he was pushing me, he understood that he can't push me to that level, I could have a heart attack. And he was a good trainer, he was a mindful trainer, he was a trainer who was willing to listen to where I know that my body can be pushed and where I know I can't be pushed. If I get pushed, I will have a health risk. And like that, those kind of doctors are needed to even treat a patient. Those kind of nutritionists are needed to write a medicine for a patient. So if you go to that kind of a nutritionist, that kind of a doctor, that kind of a trainer who is pushing you to do things for weight loss which is appropriate for your current status of health, well and good. But if you are going to people who are just pushing you over the limit because they hold this misperception that pushing the limit is all that is needed to maintain a particular weight, that is inappropriate weight loss. And sometimes some of us have come only to be a particular weight range. I have realized that I am okay with being 65-67 kgs if my body wants to stay in that stasis of weight range for some reason. I do not want to push myself to become 60 kgs because of the ally incidents, because of some trainer related incidences, because of other incidences that I'm not narrating in this video, and also because of my cancer incidents. These are the things that led me to this conclusion that I'm okay being overweight, I'm okay being looking a little fat and in the right BMI range. But in order for me to be in the right BMI range, good health status has to be there, good physical health status and good mechanisms of healthy alignment with my body's other organ system functions has to be there for me to achieve a particular weight range or beauty standard. And that beauty standard has to only match what my body can take. When I have cancer, I'm like Bengali mein there is this saying, I don't want to say, but I just said it's okay if I earlier when I didn't have cancer, if I could do 1 hour workout. Does it mean when I have cancer I should do 1 hour workout? That is stupidity. If I'm not even able to walk for 10 minutes or 1 hour, you think I should do 1 hour workout when normal 1 hour of just cleaning functions in my room, just washing clothes for 15 minutes is giving me cardiac problems. You think I'm going to strain my cardiac muscles or get a heart attack or some respiratory arrest because because I want to maintain a particular weight standard, or should I have maintain first my health status where I can live? Will it matter if I push myself and do that 1 hour cardio workout and then immediately next second keel out from heart attack? Then what was the point of looking a 60 kg weight person? No point at all. I'm dead, so it doesn't matter. So is dead more important? Or if I didn't die, I am maybe 65 kgs, I pushed myself to do some exercise, I'm 65 kgs now, and I am hardly able to do anything else in life. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter, again, because I'm not able to do anything else. So does it matter if on social media I look like glowing and beautiful and 100 people are saying you look so beautiful, blah blah blah? Does it matter? Or do I need some physical health status to be able to do all the things that I used to enjoy doing earlier? Or if not all the things, some of the things that I used to enjoy when I was cancer free, when I had if not cancer, whatever else is going on with my health, if I had no diseases, no illnesses, that status, or very minor level illness, that health status at that time, whatever I have done in my life, if I can't do any of those things, getting praises don't matter, getting likes don't matter, getting actually maintaining some standard of beauty that other people find enviable also doesn't really matter. Because what matters first is health before everything else. I hope this makes sense to people who are struggling with weight loss issues. You should understand sometimes you might have come on earth to be a particular weight range. Sometimes the weight range you are at just doesn't need diet changes, it might need environmental toxin related changes. I will also post another video how pesticide poisoning can cause excess fat accumulation in people's health, because some of these pesticides are fat soluble. So along with the fat, the pesticide and fat can get accumulated in certain parts of your body, leading to excess weight gain if you are consuming a lot of food and drinks with pesticides, or clothes and other environmental factors are giving you pesticide exposure. I don't know how to make that video, but once I think about it, I'll post that video. So if you have any other questions or concerns, or want to talk about your own weight loss journey and what you learned about it, please drop a comment. Thank you.